Hello, this is K1, and this is part 5 of Space Station K1 in Kerbal Space Program. Here we have another shuttle making another approach to our station. And we have a couple of famous Kerbalnauts joining us for this one. In this case, Jebediah, Bill, and Bob, as well as Jingus, who successfully landed our shuttle the previous time, making his return. In this case, we're going to continue with station construction. Tucked away in our payload bay here is our larger, more improved, let's turn some lights on, a larger, more improved battery module, which also has some solar collectors, as well as a couple of communication and scientific arrays that will go on the laboratory module. And with that, we will gather our smaller battery module and bring it back down, since we will not need it anymore. And as station comes in close enough to see its name, we are on a proper rendezvous approach. Separation 0.3 kilometers, so we're in pretty good, about a minute out. I'm going to speed up time to make up the rest of that. With a little lag that occurs when polygons first appear, we can barely make out the length of our station, which shows when you have a large facility when you can identify its shape 2 kilometers away. And that's when we start to lose a little frame rate too, but that's okay. Give a little bit of braking burn and make our approach. And how are we on oxidizer? As long as we stay at about 300, we should be good for a deorbit burn from wherever we are. So I'm not worried. And as we're relative 8 meters per second from the station, cut the rest of that velocity. And make our approach. We can go the rest of the way on thrusters. Ooh, station's coming into bright view now. I wonder if it's because the lights I got on. Oh, yes it is. Oh, those lights reach far. Or where are the lights coming from? Are they coming from the back of my bay? Maybe not. That's okay, we can turn them off. Okay, as we are now making our approach. I believe we are in proper orientation for docking. It still looks a little off. I remember I spent the last video trying to straighten it out. Okay, 240 meters and closing. Approaching at 2 meters per second. Time accelerate here just a bit. Keep ourselves on course. And there we are. Okay. It was more an optical difference. That's okay. We can begin our braking thrust. We're now at 1 meter per second relative to our station. And I think I'm approaching from the wrong direction. But that's okay, I can fix that. Can't tell if I'm on the right side or not. Oh, I think I am on the right side. Are the hatches over there? Yes, the hatches are over there. I'm on the right side. Excellent. Okay. We are at a pretty good distance. I know looking from this direction always worries me just a bit. I'm always afraid I'm going to crash. Get our docking node open. And begin our approach. Let's get in nice and close and then cut our upward momentum. Alrighty. Bring it on in there. I think I bumped it a bit. In fact, I'm sure I did. But that's okay. Should come in smooth as glass. And we have successfully docked with our station. As we turn on our SAS, you know, I forgot to actually include some support. There's one. I think two are about as good as I'm gonna get. I guess the second shuttle didn't take the docking into account as we're starting to tilt a little bit. We don't want that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn SAS off. Oh boy, we're wobbling. Not what I wanted to see, unfortunately. But I do have the shuttle connected. It is somewhat stable. It is the escape vehicle that is not. Because there are no supports in that regard. Maybe I can manually set it, but we've got that ready to go. Let's get some lights on in here. And let's start by getting those small modules. Make sure we've got fuel. Okay, our payload assist module is now fully fueled. Now in this case, we are going to utilize the smaller back-end docking port here. Locked onto that one. Let's pull her free. Whoopsie. That was not good. You hit one wrong button. It throws everything out of whack. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Now where are we connecting? There's 2 ports on either side here. And we are disappearing into nighttime, fortunately. We got lights. I missed a bit because my center of reference is just a little bit off. But that's okay. Try to come in back end first. And I get front and back mixed up. Okay, click. 1 was easy, number 2 shouldn't be too much more difficult. How are we on fuel? Hardly a concern. Okay, I don't know how my orientation got backwards. That's how. Oh wait, I need the back end, silly. Oh goodness. Come on, stay straight. There we are. This thing is just too darn maneuverable for its own good. Okay. Now I've connected to it the wrong way. Oops. But that's okay. Pull that solar array in and get myself into position. Well, I keep getting myself reversed here. And there we go. both scientific nodes attached to the lab module. And now to grab that battery module. And figure out which way is up. Whew, that could have sucked. Pull those panels into. How's our battery life? Not too bad considering. Okay, I don't know why now I'm seeing... Oh, that's why. Our combination's at a weird angle here. I mean, I suppose I could put on chase mode, but that would be too easy. Alright, and lock together. This one won't have to go too far, because the node we're looking for is right there. We want to get out of the bay before we turn, because those panels might bump the sides. Okay. Be about even as far as I can tell. Let's get into chase mode just to make sure we have proper orientation. which we almost do. Just a hair over. And just move in for docking. Oops. Chase mode can be a little disorienting sometimes, because rather than the ship moving, it's the background moving. But we're looking pretty good. Nice, stable, soft docking. And there she is. Now I don't think I need to send any of my Kerbals out for any work, because I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Kind of. Besides, I don't want to go through the whole maneuvering headache. And hopefully when we're all locked up, we can turn on SAS and orient the station properly again. Alrighty. Those are ready to go. Let's deploy these panels. Not that they're going to catch any light right now, but they'll be ready to go. Fuel is still good. One final chore to complete this round of construction. And that is on the far end of the station. It is one of my sources of wobble. But now that we have our battery module attached, we don't need that one anymore. Is our battery life looking pretty good? Alrighty, I got you. And before I disconnect it for good, let's get all the fuel out of them. Well, it's a lengthy chore I probably should have done beforehand. Using up valuable airtime, but I got the return module spread out even, so that's good enough for me. Now, considering where that battery module is, this is going to be a tricky bit of maneuvering, but not impossible. Just watch the tail. There we go. On the first try, roughly. And we are going to want to keep this assist module. So let's pull fuel from, well, okay. Let's not get our readouts bumping into each other. Okay, and that'll about do it. And as we prepare to say goodbye, we're going to move some more crew. In this case, Jeb. And Bob. And we now have a full crew aboard the station. For the final phase, I'm going to disengage from the station proper. Well, after I get the shuttle to let it go. See what I mean about getting the proper angle? It was on a previous video, of course, but point still stands. Undock. And as the shuttle moves away with a little extra maneuvering from that thing, but should be okay. The shuttle can take it. The shuttle can begin her merry way back to the surface. Since I'd already demonstrated a landing approach with the previous shuttle, I'm not going to record another one. But the station, however, needs to get back into place. So if all of our modules connected properly, we'll rotate so the panels can get a nice big gulp of solar power. In the meantime, let's get these arrays open. Okay, everything should be fairly stable, so not going to worry too much. Basically communication arrays, but they're peering into the depths of the universe as well as the surface of Kerbal to give all of Kermankind new information about the planet they live. And here is second progress of Space Station K1. Docking node, hub module, habitat module, lab module, hab lab, airlock and escape vehicle, as well as our battery module. Hopefully we will get some truss modules connected on here to extend out with larger solar arrays, and we can tuck these back in and have a dedicated solar wing. But for now, this is station construction, phase 2 complete. And thank you for visiting with me For this episode of Space Station K1 here on Kerbal Space Program, I am K1. See you next time. Good night.